What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Khord here. So, as per request from one of my subscribers, he asked if I could do a butcher run, and I'm going to record the whole thing, and I'm going to show you some of the loot that you get out of here. My magic find is not super good. It's probably about 120% or so when I get the full Nephilim buff. So this should be a good indicator as to what you guys will be seeing if you're not running a lot of magic find, if you're just trying to start out and farm this place. I do start on the Cursed Hold. That is where you will be able to kill two bosses instead of just the Butcher. You will also be killing the Jailer. If you don't feel confident enough to kill the Jailer, then you can start at the Chamber of Suffering. Let's go ahead and set that up. Hit that start game.
Let us fight this evil together.
Now, this I'm very overgeared for. So this isn't a realistic view at how you'll be seeing it. If you want to see that, I would go to my Act 1 Inferno farming kind of as an introductory thing. This is, I've already got the gear to farm this place, and I rip it to shreds. So let's go ahead and clear out my inventory from what I was doing previously. Go ahead and get rid of this nonsense. Hold on to that. If you guys do see something, and you've watched my video and you say, hey, I would really like an item like that or something like that, just leave me a comment. I'll try to hold on to it and get a hold of you in game. And I am more than happy to just throw people items as they're trying to work through Inferno. And, you know, just gotta let me know on my, since I don't actually have a live stream or anything like that, you just gotta let me know in comments. So, don't forget to subscribe, and I will hook you guys up if you are one of my subscribers.
I'm badly wounded. Look over there. I never imagined such a creature. Still waiting. Help me.
As you can see right there, I was just trying to get a hold of what I was going to be running into after the zombies. Now that I know, I can kind of set up how I need to in order to jump around. It looks like I'm not going to be able to skip this little fire pit, which sucks, because as you teleport, you will start running into fire and other things. So, gotta clear out all these mobs. Generally, I don't do that. I generally start clearing once I'm in a better position for killing elites. That's fine, though. I'll wait for the fire to go away. Alright, these guys are kind of tough. They're shielding, they're mortar, so basically they hate you if you're a wizard. Oh, and they've got frozen. Even better. Man, these things would be super hard. This might actually be a reset if I wasn't overgeared for this. That is an incredibly hard combination. As you can see, they've even killed me, and I have 37,000 damage. So, let's go ahead and get out of this situation I put myself into. Try never to stack them on your actual res place, because that does make things a lot harder. This combination of stuff I would recommend if you ever see this and you don't have the gear I have, just reset it. It's not that big of a deal. It's more of an ego thing than anything else, like, oh, I couldn't do it, but not a huge big deal kind of thing. These guys, these cultists, they actually do hit pretty hard and they swing pretty fast, so if you're undergeared, just reset that. Whenever it starts you in this Inferno room, having an elite at the end of it just kind of really saps the life out of you because you don't really have anywhere to kite. As you can see, I took them down and wasn't that difficult. I still had a couple of deaths, which you should expect in Inferno. If you don't expect to die, you are in the wrong difficulty. Alright, let's start cruising through here, creating some room so I can actually do things when I run into elites. check out this room. And if you've watched my Belial video, the reason I'm attacking so fast is I have decided to build an attack speed, run speed setup, and it seems to be working really well. I'm almost at 3 attacks a second. As you can see, I just spit those orbs out like nobody's business. It's the same with magic missiles, and it really seems to be making the difference. I still can't kill Belial. I haven't given it a shot since I found my new weapon, but I will hopefully be doing that soon. I always make sure to kill all the mobs outside of that Inferno area just because I like money to drop, so the more mobs I kill, the more income I get, the more I can either spend or on the auction house or attempt to craft depending on how I'm feeling that day. Sometimes I feel a little luckier than other days and I go, hey, I think blacksmithing is going to be more productive. It hasn't been so far, so basically those days I'm just wanting to see if the damn system will work eventually, and so far it's failed. Let's see, so a couple blues have dropped. We've got a two-hander 418, two-hander 582. Haven't seen any yellows yet, which is pretty common. Haven't run into too many elites, only got the 1 stack, so my magic find is in the toilet right now. But I don't want you guys to feel discouraged, because while I was farming, I did manage to find a weapon. The one I have right now, this 883 with Vit and attack speed. That dropped, and I have nothing for magic find. So, frankly, I don't know how reliable magic find is right now. I think they just put it in to confuse us. My buddy Mezul has actually found 3 set items now, and he's found all 3 of them when he wasn't running magic find gear. The only thing we found with magic find gear is a bunch of garbage. And once again, I want to reiterate, this is not typical of your first run. This is after farming gear for a very long time, or being very, very lucky with the drops you may receive. So if you're watching me and going, why can't my wizard do that? Well, spend 140 hours on your character, and 40 of that in Inferno, and you'll probably be doing exactly this. I do run the Enchantress, as you can see. I like the little mind control stuff she does. Periodically she throws an AoE. Does a fair amount of damage. I mean, I've kind of got a weapon on her that's a little ridiculous, so one of the other things you may want to invest into is I've been putting, as I find it, magic find on her items in order to get a slight bonus from her. So when I do solo, I actually have a higher magic find than when I'm in a group with someone else. Unless they have ridiculous magic find, because I'm still not sure if it stacks based on the group, like an average, or if it's just based on the individual. Alright, got the Highland Passage here, cleared most of that place, didn't see much. This kind of sucks. Generally there's a merchant quest right there that'll open up an elite, but apparently he's not going to help us out this time, so now there's just going to be a crap ton of goatmen. If you do get the merchant quest, there's going to be a bunch of cultists, some heavy hitters, not really that difficult. Basically you can kite the minions that he has up the bridge, and just kind of wander around in the area I'm in right now and kite him down the other bridge and try to do what you need to do. I always try to check these things to see if there's anything that's worth something, like, you know, if I happen to find intelligence, magic find, things like that. You can actually make a fair amount off the auction house reselling that stuff. So make sure you check out the special merchants and for any specific little details that you may want to find. You're going to cross at the Highlands Pass. We're going to go into the Cursed Hold. This place is always a little harder. If you are doing the Jailer, you'll have this quest. If you're not, you don't have to go looking for prisoner remains. The reason this is a little harder is these archers still hit pretty hard, and ranged archer skeletons are generally a little bit of a pain in the ass, much like the Quill Beasts in Act 3, or some of the ranged mobs that I can't remember in Act 2. But as you can see, I just kind of run around, gotta find all these things, take that guy down, make sure to kill his worms. Those things will jack you up real fast too. I remember not paying attention and killing some of these fatties and looking at a piece of gear they dropped or something and completely forgetting that they dropped worms, and the worms wrecked me. Alright, now these are actually really hard when you're first starting as well. The fast ones of this type of mob will just dominate you when you're first starting. As you can see, they still hit me pretty hard. Luckily I have the DPS to just drill him down though, which is kind of nice. Teleport away. The whole time, no matter how geared you get, you still have to kite. I have not found a single instance, like right there, I didn't kite and he dropped me to what, 12-15% of my health. So if you're playing a wizard, always expect to kite unless you're in, let's say, Inferno gear in Hell difficulty. That's about the only time that you're not going to need to kite as much, or any difficulty below that, obviously. But as for Inferno, there's almost never a point where you can just stand in and take damage if you're playing the build I'm playing. Which doesn't bother me at all. I personally like teleporting around and playing a kite class. It's one of my better things to do since I did a lot of warrior PvP in World of Warcraft, a lot of pillar humping, so this is something I'm pretty used to. If you guys are struggling with Wizard and you feel like the game is just too hard, whatever, you know, it only takes that one little piece of gear that'll just switch everything around for you. When I first started Act 1, I was running, I don't know, 8,000 DPS. I found one weapon that I actually wore up until I found the weapon I'm currently using. And it changed everything. It made it so I could kill things a little easier in Act 1. It made it so if my barbarian was tanking in front of me, I could actually put damage out fast enough that he wouldn't die. And that's all it takes. It just takes one little bit of luck, and you'll be sitting pretty. As for Act 2, moving into that Act 2 is a whole nother animal. And if you guys want me to do a little tutorial video on how to break into that, what kind of stats you'll need, I can definitely do that. But Act 1, pretty easy to farm. I recommend spending quite a bit of time in here. Blizzard actually just did an update today that I'm doing the video right now that said that the majority of people doing Inferno are doing it under-geared, and I believe they said only 1.9% of the population is actually in Inferno, or some minuscule number like that. So don't be discouraged, guys. I mean, it sucks that you have to keep repeating content over and over again, but that's kind of the Diablo style, and I mean, you could always take it as a win getting through Hell mode, since that was the hardest mode on Diablo 2. Personally, I really enjoyed games with a huge challenge. So if you're really insistent on getting through this stuff, you're going to have to spend some time farming. You're going to have to spend some time playing the auction house, depending on your luck. So if you guys, on a side note, if you guys are finding legendaries at all in Act 1, make sure you hold on to them. Don't sell them immediately, because next patch they will be buffing legendaries to make them a little more on par with what they should feel like. And that is incredibly helpful, especially since wizards rely on quite a few legendary pieces to be min-maxed right now with my build. So if you guys are using my build, the legendaries that we have to purchase that we feel like we're gimping ourselves with for movement speed will be buffed. Who knows how much, but it should feel a little bit better. Any buff is a good buff. Hopefully, I will run into a set item for the first time ever and make it look like this act drops something to give you guys hope. As of right now, I have found 2 legendaries that are level 57 plus. I have found 0 set items, and I have gone through what feels like thousands of rares that are worth nothing, so I generally vendor them. Which again, if you guys want something, you need to post it on my comment. If you're a subscriber, I am more than happy to hook you up with it in the Act 1 phase. If you want something from Act 2 or Act 3, it still takes me a little while to get through that stuff, so there will be a charge on it, but I am more than willing to hold on to things as I find them. If you are on my friends list, I'll make sure to let you know and give you a nice big discount comparatively to the auction house, since everyone wants to charge you 10 million gold for anything. Once again, you guys just have to let me know. And don't forget to tell your friends if they're playing Diablo also to subscribe to the channel. And I can do the same thing for them as well. Like I said, you just gotta let me know. I'll make sure to post my my username at the bottom of this one so you guys can let me know what you need. I've actually already had one of my subscribers log on and ask me some questions, which is great. I love when you guys do that. And if you guys have any video requests, please, please, please tell me. I am more than willing to level other characters, do different difficulties, show you tips on how to get through hell, whatever you need. So, just gotta let me know. As you can see, one of my buddies there wants to get in on my carry runs, which I've been carrying him through to get him gear. And after I'm done recording here, I will continue on doing that. And if you guys are interested in that, you gotta let me know. I do charge a small gold sum for carrying people through Act 1 to the Butcher. Generally I can kill the Butcher relatively easy, even with someone doing next to nothing dead. So, if you guys are interested in that as a subscriber, let me know about that as well. And just get in touch with me. Hopefully we will find the Butcher soon. Oop, getting a little crowded in there. Don't want to be taking too many hits. Now these guys, I don't... You don't want to let them... change if you can help it when you're first starting out, because they go from having 40,000 health doing nothing right here, as you can see, or 19,000, my bad, to having 109,000, and they will charge and hit you fairly hard. When you're first starting out, you're probably not going to just want to charge in like I do. I used to put Hydras ahead of me to kind of warn me about mobs. You know, put it there and teleport across that. Oh, yep. So these fire pits, they're a little rough because you have to get across them before the fire starts, or they will kill you. Even with my 35,000 health, they will just annihilate me. That makes it a little hard when there's mobs on the opposite side that you can't see. Obviously, as you just saw there, I teleported across and ended up with 3 around me. See if we can't just kill some stuff while my health regens. There we go. Get one of those health orbs. I'm not going to bother with showing you guys my gear personally, because it is far and beyond what Act 1 will yield for you, unless you are super, super lucky. I have known instances where my friends have gotten 800 DPS one-handers and all sorts of crazy things that I didn't have the luxury of having. But and I hope you guys do get that if you're watching this and you're like, I really hope you don't have to farm Act 1 for very long, because it's not fun after a while. And there are certain mob combinations that almost make it impossible for you, even when you have good gear. Like at the beginning there. I mean, even if I had relatively good gear for Act 1, the beginning mobs would have been incredibly hard. Looks like my inventory is almost full, so I can give you guys a quick preview of what the blue gear looks like. Haven't found many yellows this time. Just means that the butcher's going to drop some set items, right? That's what I always hope anyways. You get bad gear all the way through a run, and you just hope that the last guy's going to drop something good. Oop, don't want to go in there. More fire pits. As a little tip, if you guys do have a magic find set before you open chests and whatnot, unlike me where I just click them and keep moving, you can throw on your magic find gear and have a better shot at getting something good out of the chests that you open. As you can see, they were trying to do a little pincer attack on me there. Don't like that happening. Maybe strong for the act, but if 4 or 5 things hit me at all at the same time, I'm still gonna go down like something or other that goes down fast. These little pits are always kind of a pain. Yeah, gotta wait for them to spawn if you kill things fast enough. Always kind of a pain. There we go. But the 2 legendaries I did find, I found off of normal mobs. They were not off of elites, they were not off of blue packs, they weren't off bosses, so that's why I've been pretty much killing everything now, since both of them dropped that way. It's hard to argue with that. Healthlink, Plague, Jailer. Alright. And these ones suck for me. They don't hit me hard enough to reset my teleport cooldowns. As you can see, I still can't teleport. I got 2 of them beaten on me. And that makes it really hard when they got fire chains like that. Probably have to start those out from full health again. Oh, nope, got lucky. Okay. So this is the Butcher. And I actually lucked out there that the checkpoint was right there. Alright. Now we can go do our first sell and kind of show you the items that you're going to be getting out of here with a relatively small amount of magic find. Alright, so let's go ahead and check out my magic find. So I'm running about 116% with the Nephilim buff. So we got, you know, the 418, we saw that, the 582, got some 242, 360, you know, most of this blue gear is pretty garbage, 90% of the time. That didn't drop out of this act, and neither did that. Alright, that's no good, no good, 228, no good. What you're looking for really is 2-handers around the 600-700 range. Those aren't bad for your level, and weapons that are in between. Probably, I guess the highest I've seen is 590 that's dropped for me with a socket. So that's what we will be looking for whenever we do this act. And I'll go ahead and do the yellows at the very end. Just kind of cluster them all together so you can see each one. Alright, pick up that gold. And this is actually kind of cool for me because I've never actually timed myself on these runs. So now this video being here, I'll be able to see exactly how long the runs are. Alright, Mr. Butcher. And right here you should be trying to, yeah. Then he's going to turn and try to grapple me. Just move out of the way. The more you do this, the more he becomes very, 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 very predictable. He's probably going to throw some chains at me next. Oh, nope, he decided he wanted to grapple me that time. There's the chains. As you can see, he's almost dead at this point. And the fire pits do start going crazy the lower health he is, so just be aware of that as well. Still trying to light me on fire even though he's dead. Alright, let's check this out here. Got 3 rares, got a bunch of blues. I got my dead enchantress who apparently likes to take lots of breaks. Alright, let's go ahead over here to the cellar. Alright, let's check out these blues. So 463 with 142 intel. That's not bad. Nothing I'm interested in putting on the auction house though. Most of the stuff is just garbage. You know, if this doesn't have vitality, generally no one wants it, so you just kind of get rid of it. Alright, now let's check out these rares. On this full run, it looks like we got 7 rares. Go ahead and start identifying them, and then take a quick browse through them. Hopefully we got something relatively good to either put up on the auction house, or I can store it in my bank and figure something else out to do with it. Alright, let's check out this belt. Belt, garbage. No vitality on it. Not really that great, so we'll put that aside and we'll sell that. Let's see here. Resist all elements with vitality, but there's no socket. You could probably sell this for a little bit. I'm not interested in doing so. This has a socket, but all of its stats are garbage. I don't even know what to do with all these quivers I get. I just don't even bother with them anymore. That's not a bad weapon. It's for a level 58. 126 intel with an empty socket, 195 damage. Generally at 58 you're probably going to have something better. As you can see, like right here, this bow. This bow would be much better for a starting wizard. But again, I'm not interested in selling that. Most of the stuff I'm just going to vendor off since I'm limited to 10 auctions. So go ahead and vendor all of that off. Come over to the stash and put some of these tomes away. Put some of this stuff away as well. Running out of space. Let's see, put that there. Alright, looks like that's about the extent of what I can do. So, anyways guys, I hope you enjoyed this little preview into a butcher kill. Once again, I am very overgeared for this. But as always, subscribe to the channel, tell your friends about it, hit that like button, and I will see you with the next video. Khord out.